I have many friends.
Hey editor, can you remove that overused intro? Yeah, thanks a lot. The votes show I should literally just flat out make a tier list on a pointless Roblox game no one cares about, so which one is- oh, that's very easy to find. I've been playing it for goddamn months and no one cares about it. Last place, horrible game pass. This class is the second slowest in the game. It has horrible attacks, low damage, horrible hitboxes, and the passive is really goddamn useless because you're gonna deal with a lot of damage based on this class. Because all you're doing is gain health and speed, that's it for this class. There's no such thing as good for this fighting game if all you're doing is running away. Like most maps in this quote-unquote game no one cares about, has a barrier that will cover the entire map that will one-shot you in a few minutes. So you have to be quick or you're dead. 51st place, literally Ronald McDonald. This class has insanely long cooldowns, a useless passive that won't do much, and the worst special attack in the entire game, where it's a small hitbox and hope to god you get lucky. I'm saying hope to god you get lucky is because these attacks are very goddamn easy to counter. Like, Q is your main stun, and if you mess that up, you're screwed. It does give you a slight speed boost, but again, they're prepared. It takes a goddamn long time to prepare the attack, like 2 seconds. The only positive this class has is that it has Reaper skin, which changes the entire class and improves everything about it. But so far, this is all I own, so terrible class. 50th place, the worst kid main character I've ever seen in media. Basically, this class is unfinished, but it has 1 iframe attack and 1 knockback attack, which is useful for barrier and probably water. And his special attack does 20 damage and pretty much traps people or help him heal. Overall, I can see why this class is unfinished. No one likes this character anymore. At least he's weak in this game. And don't somehow pretty much convince a dictator saying, "You ought to stop everything" in 1 sentence. 49th place, Cripple. This class basically does nothing but makes people stop jumping and has short range, can turn invisible for like a short amount of seconds, and a short range special attack. And will automatically turn invisible if it goes close to anyone and has a cooldown for it. Like, this class has decent damage, but you have to be really goddamn careful or you're screwed. This is a short-range class. If you mess up once, you're dead. And the reason why it's here is because there's not much to talk about this class. It is basically the most meh class possible, that's why it's difficult. 48th place, Child Abuser. Basically, the passive is just a useless shield. It has a blaster that does 20 damage and spawn bones if it's lucky with a crit. Then you could use E to jump around with a bone and does 15 damage. And then F is basically the only stun attack you have, and you can throw bones as well. Basically, this class is easy to counter. It basically doesn't do much damage, and the blaster takes a goddamn long time, and the only stun attack you have is a special attack, which takes a long time to prepare. Basically, all of this class is that they saw in the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Update or a Nintendo Direct about this quote-unquote class and decide to think of what to do with it. 47th place, my least favorite class in the goddamn game. All this class is that it transforms to 750 HP, massive hitbox, slowest class in the game, and it shoots missiles that you have to aim. But it gets worse. You can't just shoot the missiles by moving. You go into complete halt, where you can get killed by half of the classes that does massive damage. Also, the melee is ridiculously overpowered in this class. And also, you can't stun or knock back this class whatsoever, so some of the classes that basically their main reason why they're overpowered or good classes is due to their knockback or stun or effects that will not affect the boss whatsoever. They cannot be useful, so they either have to hope to god someone destroys the boss, or they have to change classes entirely. And also, you're restricted from jumping. The only way you could jump with boss is by shift lock glitching it. This is the only reason why this class is not D tier yet. It's just due to its overpowered melee and the bugs of it having. Like, bugs such as you're able to move with missiles and you're able to jump with it. The last thing I could add about this class is pretty much this class got nerf after nerf after nerf. It has never gone one buff in this game. It used to have auto-aiming missiles, not anymore. It used to have a lot of damage, not anymore. It used to one-shot melee, not anymore in some modes because it now has to two-shot melee. And keep expecting this class to get worse, because there's nothing positive this class offers for this game. 46th place, a Psychopath. It's a class with an ammo bullet, it has 2 stun attacks, and a special that does a lot of damage with long range. Basically, this class's hitbox is bigger than it looks. And the passive is completely useless from what I've seen. And of course this class is difficult to aim for like 2 of the stun attacks that you're gonna need to make sure you hit, or you're screwed. Yeah, you could try intimidated by the 15 friendliest pellet bullets you have, but it's only 15 and it doesn't do much damage. And the reload, well, does take a while, like 2 to 3 seconds. 45th place, a YouTuber cameo. This class's passive basically is a short-range overpowered damage. It can stun them, it has a long-range attack, and the special attack is a more overpowered long-range attack. Basically, this is another class where you have to aim perfectly or else it won't hit. The hitboxes are small, but it does do good damage. And also the passive does require to charge up, so if you miss, it will go down and you're screwed because you need that damage. And also another thing, this class is very goddamn easy to counter. I'm just dragging this on. Basically, this class is nothing but damage, but has no defense whatsoever. If you do not kill someone to regain all of your HP back, you're screwed. 44th place, a kidnapper. Basically, this class has a short-range attack, another better short-range attack known as Q. You have something to speed away from the other players, then the special attack to affect the other players by not damaging you whatsoever and disabling the attacks, and the passive means the more you charge up your special attack, the more damage you do. Yeah, basically, this class is short-range. If you do not have any of that special attack meter, which literally the only defense you have is this cloud speed thing, if that runs out, you cannot use your speed cloud thing, which means you're screwed. And also, you need to keep a balance of your special meter, because the more special meter you have, the more damage you do. If you use all of it, again, you're screwed because you won't do enough damage. And also, the special attack is also short range, so if you messed all of it up just to make sure you get someone attacks disabled so they can get teamed on and killed, or you can kill it yourself, then if you miss, you're screwed, because you basically destroyed all of your special meter, which means you cannot use the only defense you have, that speed cloud. 43th place, an American. Basically, it shoots bullets. The more you damage someone, the more damage you do. The first one is basically a shockwave. The second one is basically a dash. And the special attack is literally a more better damage version of the guns. And also, if you stand still and hold E, you can do a charge attack. It's not useful because you cannot move with it. And the only defense you have is this one dash. That's it. Because this class does not have stun, it does not have knockback, all you have is guns. That's it. 42nd place is basically someone that shoots ice. Basically, the class is you shoot a machine gun with ammo, by the way, and if you run out or you're low, you have to reload. If you reload, you might be screwed, and then you have to release an ice bomb to make sure someone's frozen and hope to God you actually hit them and actually stun them by how much you're shooting at them, which is a lot. And also, the special attack is the better version of machine gun where you could actually move freely and not slow down while shooting and not waste your ammo whatsoever. Yeah, basically, you have to hope to God you stun someone quickly or you're screwed, because how you attack is basically the machine gun will slow you the hell down and it will randomly shoot inaccurately. The ice bomb has a small hitbox where if you miss it, you might be screwed because, again, you need the stun, and since you have an ammo, if you lose all your ammo, you're gonna be screwed if you don't reload with people right near you where you have no way to defend yourself. Should I go on? It's basically a very goddamn inaccurate machine gun person where you have to hope to God someone gets stunned or at low HP or else you're dead. 41st place is Steve. Yeah, Steve from Minecraft. It has one iframe attack where you could stun. It works on PC only because I can't get this in mobile correctly. And then E is basically a terrible projectile attack where it requires expert aiming, and a special attack where it's only useful when the barrier comes insanely close where no one has any chance to counter it or dodge it. And also the melee damage is decent. And the massive HP is insanely goddamn useful because if you have any effects whatsoever like Darkness Curse, Burn, or so on, you can literally use the iframe attack to remove that. But overall, there is not much I can say about this class. It is just Steve, that's it. 40th place, a character that is so goddamn difficult to do a one-shot kill on. Basically, it shoots small flames, the passive is in ammo, Q pretty much speeds it up, E is basically small flames, and the special attack is how you one-shot kill players if you are close to them and if it actually hits. The biggest problem this class has is its passive. If you use your special attack and miss, you are screwed because you have no defense whatsoever. Another problem is that you cannot control your speed. I tapped Q once and it still kept going for like 1 or 2 seconds, wasting more on my goddamn passive, which I desperately need to defend myself against like 12 people in the server in a small map. And the small flames, you have to aim them perfectly or else you wasted your passive, which means less defense for you and basically more chance for you dying. You have to aim them perfectly and hit or you're screwed. And also, even if you hit your special one-shot kill attack, you're still screwed anyways because all of your defense is gone and someone else will try to target you and you're dead. Oh yeah, and the small flames that don't do much, that uses your passive as well, so good luck trying to win with this class. And also, the passive ammo, it takes a goddamn long time to recharge, so again, more luck to you. This is a very difficult class to use. 38th place, a robot. This class slows down people. Its passive is basically an auto-aiming weapon. It basically jumps around in the air, which is your only defense, by the way. And the special attack will lift you up in the air, and you have to aim it. Well, with no shift lock whatsoever, you have to aim it perfectly, or else it won't hit. Basically, this class requires aiming. If you miss, then the class will catch up right to you because this class is slow. You need to slow people down. And also, you have to defeat these people quickly because your only defense is basically E, where you can fly up in the air, and maybe your special attack. If you basically run out of room, which is what the barrier does, then you're screwed. 37th place, tier basically color green. Basically, this class can shoot through walls, it can stun, and it has a close range attack that does some good damage, and the special can heal all of its damage off, and it's long range as well. Basically, the only flaws this class I have is basically the passive is only useful for teammates only, not for you. And also, the special attack takes a goddamn while to activate, so you're basically fighting for survival at this point. And this class don't have much to work with, so if you miss a stun, you're screwed. 39th place, another child abuser. Basically, this class shoots a karma effect where it drains most of the health aside from 1 HP, and it takes a while to drain all the HP off. Basically, one bone uses 1 karma effect, blasters use 2 or 3 karma effects, and the special attack is well god awful. I'll get to that later. And also the passive is basically how much you can dodge. And Q is teleport to, well, spawn in bones to add more karma effect. Anyways, I forgot this class existed out of nowhere, so that's why it's this late, but this class cannot regenerate any health, so if you lose any of it, it is gone for life. Also, if you get knocked back by water, lava, where you get knocked back or have invincibility frames, this does not work for this class well. It will drain 4 of its dodges. Also, the attacks are terrible. It's basically a worse version of the burn effect, so even if all of its health is drained, you have to hit them at the last HP, which they'll kill off anyways if you don't target them. And also, this class, once it's stunned, it cannot do anything. Staggered, stun, whatever, it cannot do anything. And the special attack is just terrible. Like, people can shoot through walls, so you will lose dodge points for using it. Also, they can fly out of it because they didn't cover the roof for some reason. And also, they can glitch out of a wall if there's a cliff there, so under there as well. Overall, this is the worst VIP class in the game, by far. 36th place, someone that tried to erase themselves. Basically, this class does a lot of damage to the boss class, or other classes. The stun just makes it difficult to tell, because if you stun someone, it only knocks back them, not makes them do any damage whatsoever. The passive basically shoots 3 things. Your main attack is the heart. The Q is basically glitch 1, where you shoot the 3 things. Basically, E is pretty much your stun, which is probably the only thing that's keeping it from B tier, and the special gives it more attack and gives it armor defense. Well, the biggest problem I have with this class is that it is so goddamn easy to counter. Basically, the stun makes it unable to damage you whatsoever, so you just gotta look for the most shiniest attack, which is the stun attack, and just get yourself hit by it, and boom, the class just basically wasted all of its best hits and best attacks, so it's defenseless and it's screwed. The attacks are slow as hell, and hell, your main heart attack is basically an ammo counter. Overall, there's not much about this class aside from it does a lot of damage. 35th place, Sonic.exe ripoff. You have to aim the class to stun them. There's a range attack where you could flat out remove their armor so you could damage them more, and the special attack pretty much heals it and basically gives it more attack. And the melee does some good damage as well. And also the passive of this class basically means the lower your health has, the more damage it will do. Unfortunately, this class has no defense whatsoever, so basically good luck with that. 34th place, a ghost. It has really goddamn fast speed, it has auto-aiming missiles, it has an overpowered special, and of course it has something you have to aim that does OP damage. And yes, this class has overpowered HP, well only 10 HP matters because this class got nerfed. So basically only 10 HP matters. If all of that's gone, you are screwed because that's your only defense. That 10 HP. This class is nothing but attack with auto-aiming missiles and just overpowered speed and overpowered damage. 33th place, basically it's a dog. It has a good melee, it slows players down, it has an OP long-range stun attack, and the special gives it HP, armor, and helps teammates, and it helps itself. Unfortunately, that's all for this class, because all it does is that it only gets an armor and slow down players. That's it. The damage is, well, 15 at most, or 20. 32nd place, Octagon. This class has auto-aiming rocks, it has an most overpowered shield in the game, and basically the special attack does 30 damage, it shoots long-range things that can shoot through walls. Unfortunately, shields do not do much for this game, even though this is the most OP example of a shield. And secondly, this class can be easily destroyed because thanks to the shield, it makes it take a while to heal because of the shield. Overall, this just sounds the exact same. It just have a lot of attack but no defense whatsoever, aside from one thing. 31st place is the most theorized character in history in video games so far, I've found so far. Basically, attacks is red is short range but bypasses defense and it has a very goddamn massive hitbox. Purple is basically long range, it bounces through walls and it stops people from jumping, which is overpowered for you to heal. Green is basically a short range massive damage attack. Blue or dark blue is basically, just shooting gun thing, bang, 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 with 5 damage each. Fire is basically what you're going to be using the most. Light blue is completely utterly useless, it's boomerangs, and it's not useful whatsoever, it goes through walls. And of course, yellow is auto-aiming low damage missiles. Then E is basically an iframe attack where you float, and F is where you're able to stun while changing attacks and do 50 damage. And also your passive means you can heal a lot. Basically, this class has nothing but attacks. It has the most attacks in the game, but has no defense whatsoever, aside from one thing that has a long cooldown where it floats you up in the air. And the special attack is not even useful whatsoever. Yes, it could stun, but it's insanely easy to counter. And also, the only attacks that are worth using for this class is Flame. That's it. And maybe sometimes Purple, the auto-aiming missiles, but that's about it. 30th place is basically something for free. Basically, the class has all the basics. It's Q, it's E, and of course F is a massive damage. And also the passive is just basically what everything else of other class can do, where if you kill something, it'll get your HP back. Overall, this class is basic. I don't blame why it's B tier. 29th place is basically a Five Nights at Freddy's jump scare ripoff. Basically, if you throw the scythe, you can have faster movement and faster attack. You have one iframe attack, you have one scythe attack where you can go slightly faster and do like another iframe attack, and the special gives you more damage and more speed. And also the passive is basically, if you hit something like a lot, you could stun them and do more damage to it, but that means if you do it a lot, but it's easy to dodge this class, and easy to counter, because all it has is attacks, not defense, so it's easy to counter it. So anyways, that's why it's B tier. And 28th place is basically a class that only focuses on attacks, not defense whatsoever, no stun, nothing. Like, the only stun attack you have is your special attack, and the range is not infinite, so good luck trying to get speed. Basically, the attacks are 1 flame ball or 3 flame balls, or basically a very easy to counter circle where it can 2 times the damage of it. 27th place is Barney. It has long-range attacks that does 20 damage. It can literally drag people toward it, which again, this class does decent damage, has a good melee, it's long range, and of course it can like drag itself to closer to people, and the special is basically a long dash. And also the dashes give it an iframes. The only weakness this class has is a barrier so far, and classes that are better than it. 26th place is a spider. Basically, this class has stun attacks. All of it is stun attacks, and hell, the passive means if you mess up and jump out out of like water or out of bounds or anything like that, it will literally jump you up there and make you take no damage whatsoever. Also, the special is overpowered as well, which means it's stun and more damage as well. And also the one attack there is an iframe attack as well. The only weakness this class has is, well, damage or anything, because the class that we're going to go beyond this will have so much goddamn damage, it's ridiculous. Anyways, you have reached the half point. I am making a part 2 because this is halfway there. Anyways, if you want a next part, just flat out dislike this video. Anyways, bye.